What's cracking, people? Angelic Mayhem here, and welcome to Pinball FX 2. For those of you who are regulars to my channel, you know that I play this game often, as I'm a big fan of pinball, and today I got my hands on two South Park tables, which have just come out from Zen Studios, and so I'm going to be showing you what they're all about. First of all, let me just go on record as saying that these are two of probably the best tables that I've ever played. I have enjoyed them immensely. We're going to start off with the Butters table, which is specifically all about Butters. And we're going to go in here. Basically, it features various episodes, if you will, in which Butters is the primary character. I'm going to start a new game here. And so it revolves around Butters' stories. There are 5 different stories, and then the primary story, you have to finish the 5 stories first and then go for the primary story. The primary focus of the table is this middle area here, where you're going to have to spend some time spinning around this area in order to unlock the stories. The rest of this stuff is pretty standard. I'm going to kick this off, and then I'll tell you about the rest of the table. You'll notice that the audio is off. I mean, sadly, you know, this is YouTube, so you're not allowed to. There's all kinds of South Park references and things like that, which would all be flagged. So, we're not going to be able to... I'm sorry, wait a minute. Let me do this right. Come on. Alright, around, bounce off, and there we go. Alright, so there's all kinds of audio cues from the South Park episodes, and they're really great, really add to the whole thing, and they're very funny, and, you know, so I definitely highly recommend it, if for no other reason because of the nostalgia factor of hearing all of the old stuff from the original seasons. I would say, you know, seasons 1 through 10 really are, in both tables, just really great. Alright, so basically, like I said, in the middle here, this is where you're going to be primarily focused. This little divot, once you get the ball in there, it holds it for just a second, it spits it out, and then you can use this paddle in order to get it over into the circular area. It will then bounce off of all these targets, and you'll see a counter that comes up in the upper left-hand corner here. That counter, once it reaches 50, will light up this thing right here to let you know that it's ready to do a story. When you get the ball in here, you get to choose one of these stories. The first one does a multi-ball, and it's about the time when Butters helped out when South Park was on an island. The second one, Butters is vampire, so on and so forth, all the way around. The primary story of the table is based around the episode where Butters was sent undercover by the boys into a girl's sleepover in order to, you know, like uncover their mystical future device, which was one of these things right here. And so, you know, you have to, you know, follow the storyline by hitting certain specific things around the table in order to lock in that story. After the story is locked, then you can go and, you know, eventually you lock all 5 and you get up the final story. This first one is the multi-ball, so that's kind of my favorites because, you know, I love multi-ball more than anything else. So that actually is one of the hardest multi-balls that I've ever played. The table just kind of is designed to ship the balls down here as fast as possible, and so when you have 3 of them, you really have to be, you know, focused and pushing them out here as fast as possible because they come right back. I mean, there's nothing in here that they can really bounce off of, and when you send the ball up this ramp, it has a tendency to come down this ramp at incredible speeds, and so it's already heading for your paddles, you know, just immediately. So there isn't a lot of places where you can hide your multi-balls, I mean, for lack of a better word. There's also a skill shot over here I want to mention now that I'm thinking of it. As these light up, they'll light up to 5 immediately. If you hold it, they'll come back down to 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Once you get down to like in between 4 and 3, that's when you can get these skill shots. You'll see, you know, like where this is lit up. And then the only other thing that I'm going to mention on this table is that this is your combo shot right here. So once you're doing a round or you hit, you know, like one of these ramps, you know, then you can hit over here for a combo and it gives you some nice points. Also over here, there's this thing where, so Stan wants to kiss Wendy or whatever, so if you push this gift in, which takes a couple of hits because it's, you know, like pressure sensitive, you gotta really hit it. But as you get the present in here, then eventually Stan gets to kiss Wendy and he gets all kinds of bonus points. So that's gonna be this table. I mean, again, this is mostly a wide open story driven table as opposed to the next table, which I'm gonna show you, which is more frenetic. So let's go over there now. All right. This is South Park Super Sweet Pinball, which is more geared towards the show as a whole, not towards any one particular character. Although, without question, Cartman kind of rules this table. Again, this is much more populated in terms of things that you can bounce off of. So, like, you have Stan here in the middle. If you hit Stan 5 times, then, you know, like, he'll throw up when he goes to kiss Wendy. And Cartman is the big attraction here. Every time you get something up here in Cartman, he goes on to a story about how, you know, he was anally probed the night before. Terrence and Philip are just bumpers. As the ball is going through here, then, yeah, they make all kinds of crazy fart noises and things like that. So that kind of gives you an idea about the table, but this is much more activity-based than it is story-based. I'm just going to trap the ball over here. All right, so your skill shot is the toilet. If you get it about halfway, you know, if you let him, you know, it powers up 100% to begin with, and then if you let him cool down for just a second, then when you release the ball, it'll go into the skill shot, and that gives you a bunch of bonus points. Then it spits out into here and, you know, drops you down into your paddle area. This spells out Timmy. I'm not 100% sure what that does. I believe it gives you a multiplier on the table, but I'm not really sure what exactly it does. You'll see a bunch of pop-ups on occasion. There'll be like a tourist who pops up here. He gives you a bunch of points. Kenny will come down from his booth, like... So you hit Cartman, right, and he gives you a story, and then he spits the ball out over here. If you can use your paddle to then ricochet around Kenny, Kenny will eventually come down on the table and he'll pop up in different areas, and then if you hit him a bunch of times, then you can kill Kenny. There's also this ramp here, which takes you up onto the school bus. The school bus will either drop you back onto the ramp, or if you hit it enough times, it'll spit you off into the Sarcastiball court. I'm sure you recognize all these things from the shows. And again, I mean, this particular table just has a ton of audio cues from the actual series, and they're really great. I really think that they did a really good job in terms of the nostalgia factor of creating a South Park table. This particular table is just one of the best I've ever played, and so I really like it a lot. Sarcastiball, they'll actually have a blimp come over and it holds a balloon down, and then you can actually move the ball around and hit the balloon, and you get all kinds of bonus points for that. Obviously, when the ramp is down, you can send the ball up the ramp. When it's not down, then it's basically trapped in here, and as long as you keep hitting the paddles at the right times, you can keep the ball up there for a long time. Other than that, I mean, really it's about activating Cartman's story and about, you know, like hitting Stan and hitting Kyle and hitting these key places. Also, there's Chef over here, so if you can hit the ball over, the first time you ring Chef's doorbell, the door goes down. The second time, Chef invites some women into his, quote, bedroom. And then the third time, you get a quote from the Succubus episode when Chef was mesmerized by a woman. Anyway, so that's basically what these tables are like, and I got to tell you, they're really good. Sadly, you know, I can't leave the audio on so that you can see what they're all about, but, you know, I guess you'll just have to take my word for it that, you know, they come highly recommended by me. So with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the like button, share it with your friends, or subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this in the future. I'm Angelic Mayhem, and I'll see you next time.